Hey guys, I wanted to talk about a subject. I was reading an article in the online about a kid who I think he was maybe 7 years old, and he ended up hanging himself, and because he was being bullied. So I kind of wanted to talk about bullying and stuff. I know it's kind of serious, but um, it's something that happens quite often. I mean, a lot of incidences, school shootings and stuff have occurred because of it, and it's pretty intense. Like, a lot of people don't talk about it because sometimes people are embarrassed. But I was bullied. I was teased and bullied a lot when I was in school because of the way I am, the way I talk, just you name it. People always are going to have something to say about you. If and I feel if they're not happy with themselves, because honestly, um I I guess I would consider myself at one point a bully. After being bullied for a long time, I kind of got tired of it, and then I kind of switched reversed the role. And I didn't realize that until a friend that I went to school with, Jerry, um, pointed it out to me. Like, he actually said he was scared of me because he was scared of what I might say about him. And I was like, dang, like, I guess I was a bully too, you know. But right now I'm in Texas. I live in the Dallas Fort Worth area, and that's where my dad's family's from. But my dad was in the military, so I grew up in the military, and we grew up everywhere. I was born in California, and we traveled, to different places all the time. And so I grew up in a really diverse, I would say, background. Asians, white, black, Hispanic, you name it, I was around it. And it didn't register to me that people were different. Like, I knew everybody had different skin colors. I knew the difference between white people and black people and whatever. But it was not an issue. I never thought about, this person over here is better than me because she's white or because she's Hispanic. I never thought that I was better than anybody because of who I was. So it wasn't a factor in my upbringing. It just wasn't. And when my dad retired, we moved back to the Dallas Fort Worth area, and um, it was a whole new world. It was completely different. I was kind of like in shock, I guess, a little bit, you could call it, but because I'd never been in an environment like I walked into when we moved to Texas. And well, I will go back, and I think my first incident of bullying was when we lived overseas. We lived in England for like 2 or 3 years or something, and I would get teased over there because we had moved there from California, and I had, number one, a funky accent or whatever they want to call it, and I was teased there a lot. And plus, the neighborhood that we lived in, I didn't see too many black people. I didn't see any black people in our neighborhood in England because we didn't live on the military base. So I got teased because of my skin color and because of my accent while I was over there, because everyone else over there had British accents and I was an American. So that's where it started, and that's as far back as I can remember. And then once we moved to Ohio, from England, and being over there, and some people, I guess, take on accents, quicker than others, or some people adapt, I guess, I don't know. But when I came back over here to the States, I had a really strong British accent, and it was to the point where it was bad. And people were asking me to say weird stuff, like, not weird stuff, but saying normal things. They were asking me to say in my accent, and I'm like, why are they doing that? Like, I didn't get it. So number one, having somebody with a British accent in their school was a little awkward, but then having a black person, a black girl and a little black boy with British accents, it was, people were kind of weirded out. And so I kind of got singled out for that, and I got teased a lot, and I got bullied a lot because of it, and I consider myself tough, and I think I have a pretty thick skin, so I kind of didn't let it phase me, although it did. It bothered me, but what could I do about it? It kind of bothered me to the point where I was trying to like suppress that accent so it wouldn't come out so strong, and I didn't want to be different, even though I was, you know. When we moved to Tampa, we moved around. When we finally moved to Texas, we were civilians, and we were living in, I guess, the black neighborhood. We were living in a pretty rough area where my grandmother lived. We stayed with her for a while, and I got teased all the time because I don't, I guess I still had a little bit of an accent. I don't know, or I talked too proper for them, or what. I had people telling me, ooh, white girl, or you think you're white, and this and that, because my hair was longer. They would always pull on it and things like that. Like, when I went to school, I hung around Mexicans, I hung around black people, white people. I hung around everybody because of my background. That's just how I was. But for some reason, certain black people felt that I should be only kicking it with the black folks, and that's just not me. And so I got teased a lot for hanging around other people. Like, one of my best friends, Sheila, she's white, red hair, and my other best friend, she's like a sister to me, she's Mexican. And because I wanted to hang around them, I wasn't cool enough to be with black people or something. I don't know. That's just how I grew up, and I dealt with that a lot, even through middle school. All through middle school, all through high school, I had people telling me that I thought I was better than them, and I never once was, I don't feel like I was making people believe that I was better than them because of who I was, or, we weren't rich, we weren't anything different from anybody else. I think a lot of high school kids, all they try to do is blend in, and for somebody to tell me that, I'm not black enough or whatever because of how I talk, that's fine if that's how they feel, because I pronounce my words and whatever. I mean, it bothered me a lot, and it was kind of depressing, but then I just started, I guess my anger for that started coming out in me being the bully. Like, you might not can tell yet from these videos, but I'm a clown. Like, and I just clown everybody. I wasn't trying to be like a bully, but I guess it was coming off that way. And I would say that would be because of how I was treated. I was trying to put up that wall, or like defend myself by being the funny one and getting you before you got me. And when my friend told me that, I was just like, it kind of devastated me that he was actually scared of me, of what I was going to say. That bothered me a lot, and I thought about that for weeks. Like, geez, I made somebody else feel the way I felt when people were, picking on me, and that wasn't my intention at all. Like, it wasn't something that I ever wanted to do, make somebody feel like crap like I felt. But bullying is serious. Bullying is it's out of hand. You see it a lot of times. Like, I used to be a preschool teacher. I did that for like 6 years or so, and you would see it all the time with the schooler kids, the older kids, picking on people, and you don't really realize how it affects them, because either you're trying to do like I was doing, get you before you get me, or you're just a mean-spirited person, and that person one day that you're teasing could come back and snap on that ass. It happens a lot, all the time, and it's pretty scary. And this boy was, I don't know if he told his parents that they were teasing him or what, but he actually went to school, into the nurse's office in the bathroom, and hung himself because he was being teased and nobody would do anything about it. And I've seen in schools, I've seen teachers like completely ignore it. I mean, they used to do it to me. You see somebody picking on somebody, pulling on their hair, or hitting them in the back of the head, or whatever that they're doing, and calling them names, embarrassing them in front of people, and the teacher just sits there like, you know, I've seen it. I've seen them do it, and not incidences just with me, but with other people as well. I've seen them turn their head like nothing ever happened, and that's got to change. Teachers are underpaid, yeah, but you at some point, like, you went into teaching because you cared. I don't know where that changed, but you know that's the purpose of you going into it. You cared about kids and you wanted to see them succeed, and but somewhere along the line it's like you get so frustrated, and that attitude that you once had withers away, and you just start not caring. It's just another job. And that's the attitude I felt like a lot of my teachers, I wouldn't say a lot, but some of my teachers had. They just didn't care anymore. They didn't want to deal with it because of the type of kids that they are teaching changed. Kids nowadays don't give a shit about nothing. They don't care. Back in the day, I was scared of my mom. I was scared of my dad. Scared of my teachers. Not scared to the point like in a bad way, but I would never disrespect an adult the way that I've seen kids these days disrespect adults, talk to adults, do things that you would never do. I know back in my parents' days it wouldn't have went down, and I know in my day it wouldn't have went down because my parents would have jacked me up. But nowadays, kids they're not fearful. They don't care. They think they are invincible. They think nobody can touch them. They're untouchable, and with that comes everything: bullying, sex, drugs, all kinds of stuff. It's a very scary subject. It's a very touchy subject, and I just think that when you see people, kids, out there who are strong, when they see stuff like that happening, step in. That's just something that not a lot of people have, that to where they would step in. And I think it's a great thing for somebody to be, a teenager, 15, 14, whatever, and see something like that going down and they step in and do something about it. I think that's really awesome. And I have seen a couple kids come through, when I used to be working at the center, actually be that type of person. And that's like a proud moment when you see something like that, because kids don't normally act like that. Kids nowadays don't stand up because either they're scared or they don't know what to do. But when you step in and you defend somebody, that is like a really powerful feeling. And I think that parents, everybody needs to be involved. Especially parents need to be more involved in their kids' lives. I've seen kids go to the daycare and they are there first thing in the morning, and then they are the last kids to leave at night, and they don't hardly ever see their parents. And that is one of the biggest things that kids need. Growing up, they need their parent around. They need a parent around. They need somebody to talk to them. They need somebody to guide them, to show them. And a lot of times these days, it just doesn't happen. And I think it's pretty sad. And I wish that things would change. Things can change. People just need to step up. So that's my little story about bullying, and I hope it helps somebody. And if you have any bully stories or any articles that you've read online or something like that, let me know. I would like to read them. So until next time, I'll see you guys later, and take care. Bye.